I am. Let's do it.
Hi,
It's all
everybody. Namaste. Happy Saturday morning from the West Coast. Good morning. I'm so happy to have Aimee here on my channel for roundtable readings this morning. It's a real pleasure to have you here. We've had some great chats, and
yeah.
um, I'm really glad that we connected. We've had that last chat that we had about adoption meant a lot to me, and it was really special to share that with some of you in the chat. So welcome. If you didn't see our previous conversation, you can go back. It was on Aimee's channel. We talked about some very private and personal things related to our journeys through adoption, and how we have worked with our own self-healing and all of that. So yeah, so Aimee and I are we're kind of connected. So
Yeah.
welcome. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Getting my energy up for this weekend. I'm off for the next 2 days, so I'm looking forward to this. So I'll
Good.
probably have a somber tone, not in a negative way, but just a very somber tone while we're talking and doing readings. So I'm fine. I'm feeling that energy right now.
Okay, great. Well, you asked if I would do a grounding, and I'm happy to do
Okay.
that. I just want to say hi to everybody that's here,
Yes.
and then we'll do a short little guided meditation.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for your patience. We were having sound issues, but it's all been resolved. So hi, I want to say hi to Melinda. She was here really early. Welcome to False Teeth Tarot, Melinda. Nancy, welcome. And
Hi,
Gerald,
Nancy.
lovely to have you here.
Gerald.
And Tammy Ann, hello. Aloha, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
And Colleen and Dee, welcome. Hello to Donna, lovely to have you here.
Mm-hmm.
And Aimee Lee, welcome. It was so lovely to see your face the other day. Aimee's has joined a course that I'm teaching.
Okay.
And I have known Aimee for, ever since I started my channel, and it was so nice to see your face. So you know that difference when you see somebody's
Yeah.
face, you just see their channel name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very special. Dee, did I say hello to you? I believe. And Elizabeth, welcome. And Elizabeth, nice to see your face too. So I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying. Sometimes it's a little mini workshop. Other times it's getting to know people over a period of weeks. And I never anticipated the level of connection that has grown through Tarot Tube. And Jonathan and Amber and others as well too. We're going to get together and plan a retreat in Maui. And Jonathan and I never would have connected if it weren't for YouTube, and like you and I, Aimee, right? So
Yeah.
it really is. People knock social media, but there's been some really, really good things that have come through starting this channel. I feel really blessed. Hi, Sarah, welcome. And Irene, lovely to have you here. Oh, wow, so many lovely people here this morning.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Feels good.
Beautiful.
It's gonna be good morning.
Thank you for that little endorsement, Gerald. I really appreciate it. Okay, so what I want to invite everyone to do is just, if you're comfortable closing your eyes, connect to your breath, feel your feet on the floor. If your legs are crossed, uncross your legs. Kick off your shoes, feel the carpet or the floor underneath your feet. Lie down if you have the luxury of lying down. Feel your lower body. And as you exhale, feel the weight and the connection of the lower body to whatever is beneath you. And allow each exhale breath to soften and deepen the large muscles of the hips and the legs, the lower legs, ankles, and feet. And the next time you breathe in, scrunch up your toes and your feet. And when you feel ready to exhale, soften your feet. And acknowledge whatever parts of the body are connected to the floor beneath you. And lean a little more deeply into the floor or the chair. And in extension, acknowledge this connection to the earth itself, to the Divine Mother, and know that you are held. Know that you are held in her arms, and she is always there to hold you. And so with the next couple of exhale breaths, allow yourself to lean into her even more. And then now connect to your inhale breath and feel the lightness, feel the buoyancy of the inhale breath. Allow it to fill you up, feel its inspiration. And just gently float between the lightness of the inhale and the groundedness of the exhale. And take your internal gaze to your eyebrow center and just focus on any intentions you might have for today. Seeking clarity about what it is that you need to hear or experience. And when you feel ready, you can go ahead and gently open your eyes.
Mm. Thank you, Sadhana.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes there's just something about the exhale breath, and I often call it the gift of the exhale breath.
Mhm.
And if we can allow ourselves to really soften into the earth and allow ourselves to be held, another way that I love to do that is when I'm walking is to connect my breath to my footsteps, so that each footstep is a breath, and I really feel like I'm connecting to either the heartbeat of the earth or the breath of the earth, and it's really beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, walking is just that moment of connecting to every aspect of your body, all five senses, the environment that you're in, because you're breathing in, correct?
Yeah.
You're exhaling, you're feeling the sun, you're feeling the moisture or the dryness. It's an all encompassing experience whenever you do any form of activity outside. So I like what you were saying. And it's been very rare that when I walk, like what you just said, is exhale as you walk and connect to the earth. It's been a long time since I felt that, even living up here in the mountains. So thank you for that reminder.
Welcome. You're welcome. So today we're here to read. We're going to do some readings for you, and we're just going to mosey our way through these readings. And one of the things when I connected with Aimee, I was just really thinking, the more that I work with tarot and just different levels, the more I expand my understanding of the tree of life,
Mhm.
um, old connections through the Golden Dawn. And I was looking at um, right now we're in Scorpio season. And so there's an aspect of the death card that still is lingering around, but we're in the third decan today of Scorpio. And the Golden Dawn, if for those of you that kind of work with the associated court cards and minor cards, this third decan, there's a shift of energy, and so we're no longer with the King of Cups energy. This is where we shift into the Knight of Wands energy. Now, I know a lot of people don't do it this way, but it's almost as if this Knight of Wands energy is preparing us for Sagittarius season, or perhaps it's that little bit of fire we need when the Scorpio or the death card energy just gets a little overwhelming.
Mhm.
Um, do you follow that system, or do you?
Um, it's interesting because I have right now to the left, I'm not going to move my laptop. I have a stand, and about a year and a half ago, I started to work with the decans. It was a happy medium for me to learn a little bit more about astrology. but not getting so in depth into it and incorporating the tarot. So what I have here is each week, since I've already gone through the system, I've decided to just showcase all the cards that represent each decan. So last night I got ready because it's either the 12th or the 13th, depending on what system you're using. So I set up my decan for this week from the 13th to the 21st of November for this third last decan of Scorpio. And it's normally ruled by Venus,
Mm-hmm.
but there's another system, another card that I use, and it's actually, I'll show you the card here, and I won't hold anyone up from it. This is the Unified Esoteric Tarot. So this system uses the moon in Scorpio energy as opposed to the Venus and Scorpio energy. So I work with both and just resonate with what I feel works the best. And I think both planetary placements work very well because moon is water, Venus is earth, but it still has that nice nurturing aspect of
Well,
Scorpio.
Venus has that feminine energy, which is
Yes,
very much lunar energy. So
yes,
it all kind of works.
yeah,
It
yeah.
all kind of works. And then do you look at the minors as well too? The Seven of
Yes.
Cups energy?
Yes. Seven of Cups is very interesting because it can go in either way. You can either fall into the whole illusionary aspect of what's being offered in front of you. The negative aspect of this is actually um, becoming overwhelmed with what you're seeing and falling into a bit of a rabbit hole with maybe choosing one of those aspects of the Seven Cups and letting it get the best of you. So the Seven of Cups is something where you have to use a lot of discretion because it's you can go either one way or the other. And then there's the Mystery Cup, depending on what deck you use, where it's just like maybe that's the cup you should take, but you don't know what's in there. While the other cups are showing hints of what's there, and depending on how you approach it and where you're going to go with it, it can work with you or it could work against you. So it's a
Mhm.
nice reminder. I like the
It
Seven
is.
of Cups.
It is. And as you may be aware, I'm doing a deep dive with the Marielle right now. And the Seven of Cups energy, or the sevens in general, connected
Mhm.
to the energy of the Chariot, really do give us an opportunity to kind of advance to a new level of spirituality.
Yes.
There's the seven, the Chariot is the end of that first trifecta. That's, sorry, not trifecta.
The Septenary.
The first septenary. Sorry,
Mhm.
yes, the first septenary. And I don't know. I really feel like with the sevens, seven is such a magical number. There are so many beautiful connections to the seven, and I tend not to um, get too wrapped up in little white book association of from the RWS of
Yes.
the sevens, because I feel that the sevens, there's a lot of layers to the sevens. And if we really take our time with those cards, and I don't know, I think they have a lot to teach us about
Yes.
moving forward. And I always want to keep the Chariot in the back of mind, but I was going to pull out the Seven of um, Cups from the Marielle. So the Seven of
Let me
Cups is
see.
the black dog, which is connected to our shadow self. And so in the sevens in the Marielle, we have the black dog, who is connected to our yin aspect, our receptive self, and asks us to really lean into and understand our darkness.
Mhm.
And so that overwhelming energy of seven cups, of a lot of water, a lot of choices, a lot of feelings, perhaps a
Mhm.
lot of things percolating to the surface simultaneously.
Yeah.
We can go in a lot of different directions with that card.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if the Knight of Wands wants to avoid that or charge through that or if there's some connection there. And it'll be interesting today when we do readings to see if any of these cards show up. You know, if we
Yeah.
see death, or if we see a Knight of Wands, or we see the Seven of Cups. And so I have this question for you. So if
Yes.
any of these three cards show up in a reading, how do you speak to them when it kind of matches the timing of this system?
So if it was the Knight of Wands during like this third decan.
Yeah, like today,
Okay.
in a reading today, any of these three cards show up, how do you
Yeah.
speak to them differently than if it wasn't their time?
Yeah. I would do the opposite because the Knight of Wands is that fast moving energy. And with any kind of fire influenced sign or aspect with the tarot, the wand, I think with it being in the third decan, I think it's a reminder just to kind of be a little bit more connected while you're going through this movement. Sagittarius, I feel, is a sign that it's expansive. It sees everything at a larger scale, that Jupiter influence. And what happens is I feel that because of that large expansiveness, that they could be missing opportunities that are there, and they're not staying. I'm not saying that Sagittarius isn't a grounded sign, but I feel emotionally they need to listen a little bit more, slow things down with the fire signs. If it's in a water aspect, influence card, slow down and feel what's going on, experience what's going on. You're moving through, but how are you feeling? You just don't go through the motions. Experience um,
I know
at that
exactly what
moment.
you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yes, yes.
just just slow it down. I have a lot of fire, but I don't have any Sagittarius, so I understand. Thankfully, I'm Taurus. I can bring that grounding down. But sometimes it's hard. But yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's a few more people that have come into the chat. Bruna, hello. And go ahead and you can start posting your questions into the chat if you would like us to read for you.
I see Gerald's comment. You see it?
Which one?
Is anyone else vibrating, listening to Aimee and Sadhana chatting? I am, and I like it.
That's funny. I missed that one, Gerald.
Uh, it's a little bit on the bottom.
Okay. Joshua Benjamin. Where is the round table? Wouldn't that be nice if we could actually simulate a round table? If I could somehow do that in the background. That's
That would
funny.
be great. Is that table round that I'm seeing?
No, it's just
No?
I have the screen behind me kind of
Okay.
in a round shape.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to go back and just say that I saw this one. So yeah, it's really beautiful. Thank you for acknowledging that, Jonathan.
Yeah.
During the
Thanks.
meditation, Dee had a stone floor beneath her. That's a different
Wow.
energy. That's a very different energy. Yes, I do that barefoot. I love when I can to walk barefoot at the beach. It's getting a little cold right now to walk barefoot, but I really, really enjoy that.
Mhm.
Um, okay. I'm
What
not
do
sure if this is a question, but let's just comment on Aimee's thing here, Aimee's comment. Where is the best place or person for technical assistance with my website and social media pages for my mediumship, tarot, oracle, Lenormand, and Akashic readings? Aimee, I can message you privately later. There's one YouTube channel that I can't, off the top of my head, think of his name, but I have found his videos really, really useful for StreamYard anyway. And if anybody has advice for Colleen, please go ahead and put that into the chat, because I know we can all use support in this regard. Yeah. I'm not the best resource for that. And Joseph, I saw Joseph came in just before I started the meditation. Hello to Joseph, IT guy. Oh, I see the comment now. There's the vibrating comment. Vibrations. Vibrations are good. Okay. And then I think the first question is Bruna. So let's go here. What decks are you using today, Aimee?
I'm going to work with the Dreams of Gaia. I had it when you were my guest, and there are two other decks I'm currently working with that I'm not quite ready to read publicly with. I'm getting there, but not quite. But I figured this is a sadhana deck, the Dreams of Gaia. And I believe you don't have this deck.
No,
Um,
I do
and
not.
and I just feel it's a cosmic, it's a universe-centric deck, and I haven't worked with it in a while. It's been a deck I would work with for a lot of readings, but um, I chose this one.
Nice.
Yes.
I really look at Bruna's smile. What a gorgeous
It
smile.
is, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, big smile.
So Bruna would like advice about winning a writing contest. What a great question. What is important to have in my story?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Bruna.
It's a beautiful question. Hmm. Holding love and light around Bruna as we contemplate this part of her journey. I feel very excited for you, actually. It feels illuminating. Yeah. Aimee, if you're ready, you can go
I
ahead.
am. And I'm curious what card you're going to pull.
I
So,
reached for lovely Om.
So, Bruna, I have here, we were talking about fire energy a few moments ago. I have the Three of Wands, or Three of Fire, I'm sorry. The Dreams of Gaia is all elemental, so it deals with fire, air, earth, and water. So I hope you can see this, and I'm sorry for the sheen.
I can make you bigger here. There you go.
Okay, there you go. So the Three of Fire is someone who is just filled with lots of ideas. Fire is a creative element. It involves that inner inspiration and that belief of what you're working towards. And I feel here, especially with this card, because you asked what is important to have in your story. I feel it's best um, to keep somewhat exciting. Keep it on maybe the more adventurous side. Also open. Keep it open-minded, and focus on a topic that is something that maybe you haven't explored before, something a little different. Let's focus with the energy of the adventurer, someone who's just like delving into the unknown, but is open to it, and but really believing in what you have, your ideas, and that energy force to really bring it out there to people. So I think keeping it more on the adventurous side. And also what's interesting, Bruna, is I'm seeing the background of your profile, which looks like it's mountains, and I see this here on the card itself. So wherever that photo was taken, I hope it was of inspiration for you, because I think that could be the placement of where some of the ideas um, and where you want to take your writing with is coming from. That's what I feel here.
Aimee, I'm right on with you. This is the Emperor. I also see mountains and adventure and a journey.
Mm,
And there
look at
is so much inspiration. I'm
that.
not sure if the background is intended to be Shiva, but it's a divine, strong, powerful energy that is guiding this journey.
Yeah.
It's and they feel so connected, these two cards.
Look at the eyes, Sadhana. Almost similar.
Yeah.
Very contemplative. No,
There's
wow.
no there's an assurity. There's not a cockiness to the energy.
Yeah.
It's a knowing energy, and it's experienced energy. So I'm wondering if there is a story that is connected to your own adventures where you
Mhm.
can share the daring or the risk or the um, drives me crazy when the camera doesn't
Yeah.
focus. Um, Something, like your personal fire. People want to hear that.
Mhm.
And while that may be personified as a different character or a different name, there's something about the inspiration of that
Yeah.
will guide you through this contest with fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. You hit on something that I didn't immediately pick up on, but share a part of yourself, that adventurous side, the side that maybe you haven't really explored, and now it's time to put it out and share it publicly with people.
Hmm.
And I feel you have a strong drive too, Bruna. So I think I think you'll be fine. You'll be fine with this. But keep it open. I'm feeling very strongly about that. Keep it open. And keep it exciting. Keep it so that it's almost like on the edge of your seat when you're writing your story.
You know those stories, did you ever read them where the ending is open-ended and you can choose which direction you go? Was there a children's series where you could do that? Um,
Um,
was the Magic Tree something like that, or where
I
you could
can't
choose
remember.
your adventure? Anyway, I just feel like, yeah, adventure. Adventure is in a word is definitely a direction that would
It can move into a series, Bruna.
maybe, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
beautiful. Okay, so thank you for I love that question.
Thank you.
I love you, and thank you, Colleen. That's a lovely comment. Okay, so let's go to Gerald, and I'm just going to play with my camera and see if it can find my face. What advice or suggestions do you have for me with my writing? Another writing question. Now,
Wow,
isn't
Gerald.
this interesting?
Mm.
I haven't been writing and feel a need to start again. Would you like to be published, Gerald? Is this for publication, or is this part of your personal uh, self discovery? I guess it's always connected, right?
Yeah. Right. Anything creative is an extension of who you are. So now I'm gonna run upstairs and close the window. They just started drilling next door.
Okay.
So my apologies. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, yeah, yes to being published. Okay, Gerald. I'm tingling all over. This is really exciting. I feel the energy on my scalp, my crown chakra. Um, the potential. The potential is limitless, Gerald. And perhaps being and allowing yourself to be guided by your meditations or by your quiet time to perhaps to sit quietly and spend some time in silence before you start writing, and then much like automatic writing, but I feel connection to spirit and allow yourself to be guided is definitely that's the vibe that I'm picking up right now. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh.
Are you in the middle of doing this
No, I
reading?
was talking about how I was feeling. I was talking about my crown chakra lighting up here, and I'm going to just
There we go.
enlarge myself here. Gerald, this is the Scorpio card. This is the death card in this deck. So on a very mundane level, sometimes when I pick up on a card that matches the timing of where we're at, it just means that you're right on point, and asking this question is just it's a beautiful time to be exploring this question. The tarot is hearing you. But what I'm picking up on this card is not unlike what I was feeling with the previous card, with the Emperor card. And I am wondering if this particular, I don't know, like, is this about writing about past lives? Is this writing about NDEs, perhaps? Like, I kind of want to stay, um, yeah, this feels, what am I picking up on here? This flower is really throwing me off in the background. But I feel like it's almost as if the story is walking through death. So this might very well be about interviewing people who've had near, and I know there's been lots of stories and sharing with that, but your own unique twist on NDEs. There's something about walking through death here.
Mm-hmm.
And death itself, I don't feel this is about, endings or finishing something up. This is actually about the death itself. What do you got there, Aimee?
I have something completely opposite, very
Completely
different.
opposite. Okay.
I have the 8 of Earth for this card. And
I need to see the art. I'm just gonna
okay.
enlarge it here.
And I'm sorry, there's something with StreamYard where the background is putting a brick wall behind it. Anyhow, this is 8 of Pentacles, and so, or 8 of Earth. So we're seeing the building up of what you're working towards. Now, I feel too, Gerald, because I know you asked me this a while ago about writing. I feel there's a form of dedication and self-discipline that's needed a little bit more, because when we work with any of the elements of Earth or Pentacles, we're dealing with the aspect of making investments into ourselves, into what we are building in projects, so on and so forth. But I feel there needs to be a little bit more discipline, more dedication, more focused when it comes to the writing. And I feel this is almost similar to uh, the the question that you had asked me a while ago. Give yourself some exercises, which I believe you have done, but be a little bit more astringent with yourself when it comes to the writing. If you feel the need to start writing again, follow it. You're Scorpio, so you should have that drive that if something's calling to you very strongly, do it. This is emotional. This is water, especially Scorpio. But I feel here with the pentacles, or I keep saying pentacles, I'm sorry, the 8 of Earth, we need a little bit more discipline to start showing the signs of the results of what you're working on. Be a little bit more harder on yourself, but towards what you're working on. And focus on one thing, Gerald, not a whole bunch. Focus on one thing when it comes to the writing. Um, I'm not sure if you have different ideas or different concepts in mind, but let's focus on one thing that really moves you and then start from there. Because if you have a lot of projects, a lot of things going on, that's an easy distraction. Going back to the 7 of Cups, we're seeing all this stuff that could be pulling us away, where we really need to focus on that one thing that really moves us, inspires us to write, or to focus on that one thing. But be a little bit more harder. And as you could see here, we start seeing the results if you remain dedicated and disciplined towards what's motivating you the most.
I'm wondering if that be a little harder, a little more dedicated, being on staying on track and more disciplined. I want to use the word
Mhm.
disciplined, to be disciplined with your writing practices, but also that being harder, maybe this is taking you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also because you are Scorpio and you are familiar with the energy of Scorpio. And what I was saying about walking through death and some difficult topics and difficult conversations, like don't choose the easy one. Choose the one that really challenges you as well too, because if there's new patterns that are coming to the surface for you and you're ready to start dealing with some issues that perhaps
Yeah.
you haven't written about before, like I'm going to say, take the path less traveled
Hmm.
and then stay on it and explore it and really really dive into that.
I want to add something. Gerald, you took some courses, or you took a course through Amber that you seem very excited from or about. The result, the experience that you've had from that, I think that could be a key, especially with what Sadhana just said. Get out of your comfort zone. And that's what Scorpio is, because Scorpio is one of those signs that a lot of people can't go as deep as Scorpio can. Scorpio likes the darker the better, the deeper the better. They get really to understand the underlying issues of what's going on, and a lot of people don't like that. Scorpio is my opposing sign, and I embrace it. I embrace this time of the year because
Okay,
you're facing all these issues and whatnot. But I like it. I feel
nice.
comfortable with it.
Nice. Okay. So we have some confirmation here, but that's really great. Thank you for putting that into the chat, Gerald.
Thank you, Gerald.
Okay.
Hmm.
Scrolling on back. And thank you to the mods who are keeping people in check here. Yes, only post your question once. I'm not going to read it if you post it again. I'm not going to read it any sooner if you post it multiple times. Let's turn to Elizabeth. I find myself gravitating towards my yang energy frequently, especially with work and being a single parent. I'm very action oriented. How can I integrate more yin?
Mm.
Just answering that on just what I'm kind of feeling as I read the question. There is a high level of stress that single parents place upon themselves. And we need to learn to be kinder to ourselves, to know that you are doing the very best that you can do, and to let that be enough.
Hmm.
And also I wanted to talk about um, the yin, the softer activities, the meditative activities, the receptive, and I'm going to pull a card. Don't you worry, in a moment. But this can be something you do together with the children, something you model for the children.
Yeah.
You don't have to prove. Maybe this is what I'm feeling. Like you don't have to prove yourself. You are enough. You
Hmm.
are enough for the children. And so embracing the yin and sharing the yin with the children is very powerful for them on their journey, regardless of how old they are.
Hmm. It goes both ways too, because the children watch the parents and they feed off of that energy as well. So puts the parent in the position of being in charge. If they see that calming nature, then the children feel that as well.
And of course, too much yang is going to overly stimulate the sympathetic nervous system.
Correct.
And when we are in that constant fight or flight vibe, it plays havoc with our immune system.
Mm. Shall I go first, Sadhana?
Go ahead.
Okay. Give me one moment here as I view the card. Elizabeth, I have here the card of wisdom. And wisdom, again, is not again, but it's the slowing down process. Whenever there's yang energy, fire energy, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of responsibilities you put upon yourself, as Sadhana was saying, as a single person, single parent. Even someone who's single and they're multitasking so many different things, we need to learn to reverse this energy and slow it down so that we can think more, we can feel more, that we can connect to ourselves via the mind, connect to ourselves via the heart, and also physically and spiritually connect to ourselves. We need that moment to stop. So with the card of wisdom, it's acknowledging where you are, how things are at this moment. Okay. And this is coming more from the rational side. Seeing what you can do, what can you change, what can you modify within yourself, your lifestyle, so that you could bring this energy to a calming state. Not that's going to happen overnight, but just start making steps. Analyze, stop, look at what's going on, see the changes that need to be removed so you have some space for yourself and to change that energy around. And then in turn, as I was mentioning, your children or your child will see this. You're influencing on both sides. Parent influences the child influences the parent. So we need to work with that influence of what needs to be removed to create space, to slow things down so that you have that place of being a little bit more grounded. Okay, but really see here, really look at what's going on, and then you'll get that insight. It'll come naturally to you. We're intuitive as women, so you'll have that natural sign like, this makes sense. This is where I need to go. This is what I need to do.
Aimee, what is the person doing in that card?
It's very much like the hermit. So it's not the hermit placement, but holding up the lamp and the staff. And
Is there a cave in the background?
it's showing the nighttime, and also the person's wearing a bear skin. And it looks like it's a very cold, it's not really, looks like the cave is the entrance because we see all the ivy here and we have the stone over here. Like form of self-reflection.
Okay. I pulled the Queen of Wands, and I want to talk about the Queen of Wands. And then as you were talking, I pulled two more cards, and I pulled two sevens. I pulled the Seven of Discs and the Seven of Cups. But there was a song that was coming through my mind, and a bunch of things. My mind is always very busy when I'm doing readings. I never quite know which way to go. I have to trust the way I go is the right way. But with this Queen of Wands, and if you definitely connect to your yang energy and you feel that, you feel her energy, and this makes sense to me that this card would show up. But I also want to acknowledge her softness and her I want to talk about the way she moves her body. There's something about dance There's
Mhm.
something about, um, your question is, how can I integrate more yin? I'm wondering if this just is just about knowing that your softness is there already.
Mhm.
You don't need to do anything. The Queen of Wands is the Queen of Fire, but all of them embody that water energy.
Mhm.
All of the queens are deeply connected to the element of water and receptive energy. And so it's not about doing, it's just about being exactly as you are. And when opportunity arises to um, dance, was just something that just,
Mm.
and I'm not talking about taking a dance class, I'm talking about turning on some music when you're washing the dishes, kind of thing. Or if you feel like putting on a sexy gown and dancing around, but that's not what I was feeling. It was just like, understand your yin is right there.
Mhm.
You don't have to go far to touch it. And maybe that is a question just to sit with for a moment.
Mhm.
Because when I flipped over these other cards and I saw the seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups, it's funny because we were already talking about the Seven of Cups and just
Mhm.
the magic of these numbers. And so I'm feeling like, it's right there. It's all around you. So Aimee, why would a person not want to touch their receptivity if it's right there?
I think because of the movement, she says that she is very yang oriented. So I just feel by slowing down that energy, like you said, we're all of us individuals, from masculine, feminine, hot, um, cold, we're all mixed up of these different resources, these forces. But it's just if there's one of too much, if there's one element that's emphasized too much, we're not we're not nurturing, we're not healing, we're not paying attention to those other aspects. So like you were saying, the yin is there, but we have to change that process. And yes, it's okay to move with it, but going back to what I was saying about the fiery energy, when there's too much, you're not paying attention to all the other elements that we are made up of. And so you mentioned the pentacles for earth, you mentioned cups for water. Those are probably other aspects that need to come into realization for her. Let's put in a little bit of grounding. Let's put in a little bit more of emotional connection. And let's kind of see what's going on here and analyze and just like, okay, just put a little bit more thought and a little less movement. That's what I felt. The movement is needed. You can't be stagnant. We need to have a balance of all these different elements. But because she mentioned there's more yang, we need to create balance to bring in more yin by paying attention to the pentacles, the earth, the cups, the earth, and also thinking how things are coming into place while all these shifts are happening. And then that enlightenment happens, not for everything in your life, but you're like, okay, now I'm starting to get it. Hope that makes sense.
When I look at that card from a distance, I almost see that staff and all of the silver and the white down in the bottom. I see a cauldron.
Ah,
It's almost like this is what
oh,
I'm
I see.
when I see that card. It's what I feel.
And you did point out to the cave, so you feel, does this look like at first when you saw this, did you think the person was inside the cave or outside?
No, I felt like they were, I don't know, it felt like witchy energy to me.
Yeah, the staff, because it's also centered.
Hmm.
I never thought about the cauldron, but now I see that.
Anyway,
Mm,
I hope this gives you some food for thought, Elizabeth. And yeah, you're a beautiful soul. You can do this.
yeah.
And you already recognizing the need for this
Mm.
shows me that you know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So hello to Erica. I didn't greet you when you came in. Welcome. And we're going to turn to Kay. And first of all, Aimee, I want to ask if you're comfortable answering this question.
Okay. I can't give diagnosis. I don't do anything like that. Is there more specifics?
He says he's doing better now, but a few days he wasn't.
Okay.
She says her son's name is Phoenix. That's all the information that we have, I think. Here, my son almost died. If it hadn't been for the doctors giving him oxygen, he was having an asthma attack and we didn't know. He also has issues while coming into this world at birth. He stopped
Oh,
breathing.
so there's an issue with air.
Mhm.
I can pull a general.
And then she says, I'm back now from the hospital with him. However, I'm very much sad and wondering why
Okay.
this happened. Well, the thing is, we can't know why it happened. This is part of his journey. And I like that, Aimee, right away you said, okay, so he has an issue with air. He has an issue with breath.
Breath.
This is also connected to can be connected to issues of the heart.
It's prana.
Mm-hmm.
Something going on with prana. I can pull one card, but this is I don't do anything predictive. I'll just pull a card. Let's just see. Let's just see what the elements have to say. And I'm sorry, Kay. Okay, you be strong. Okay.
You're welcome, Elizabeth. All right, let's all hold light around Phoenix and Kay. When you're ready, Aimee, you can go ahead.
I'll have you go first.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not sure what I'm picking up on is appropriate for a public reading like this. But one of the things I do want to say is that he feels deeply connected to spirit, however you view that. And so I'm sorry, I don't feel like I can say more right now in this forum.
The card that I pulled came back again. At least I can maybe place some energy from this card in the direction. And I'm seeing here in the comments that seems to be a newborn, at least under a year old, because Kay says that he was born during the pandemic. this card came back again. And the only energy I could place with this is that don't know what sign he was born under, anything like that. I feel that this child, if he comes through this, and I feel he will, he's going to be a fighter. Understands challenges. And wants to see what's up ahead. This is the spirit I'm feeling, Kay, with this card of your son. Okay. But also, too, the support needs to come from the parent as well. You can also use this energy as a means of strength and willpower, and force of love towards your son. Use a very strong self-belief. Transfer that energy into your son. It's like, honey, you're going to get through this. I don't have any kids, but there are stories of energy coming from parents when their child is just quite ill, and that strong faith in being there and putting that energy in there. The child can possibly pick that up and feel it. It's a form of healing. And so if we could transfer that kind of energy, that fiery energy, not forceful, but this, it's like, honey, we're going to get through this. And then if your child heals and goes on, this energy can also influence his personality. He can have this strength and this influence into his older years, and maybe look back on and go, wow, I wonder where I got all this energy from, because of this strength, this determination to move on. Okay, I see it's Gemini. Okay.
I feel like he is a deeply spiritual being.
Okay.
And I also want to encourage you to trust in the power of prayer and the power of your connection with spirit. Yeah.
And Gemini deals with relationships, duality. And so I feel that the support of having someone like that is needed right now. They need, they being your child, his spirit. They need that support. They need that support of someone who can be there for them. And then in return, as the child gets older, this can come back to you. It's that balance of relationships, the balance of opposing energies. And I love the name Phoenix too. That's beautiful. You're sending it out there already, Kay, with the name of the child, Phoenix.
It really is. It really is. This child has maybe I've been doing too much Marielle study these days. It's like, whoa. This child, I'm looking at two very different versions of the Eight of Wands card. And in both of them, we are reminded that the sun, the external experience of the sun, of source, so let's use the word source,
Yes.
is within. And I don't know, I just want you to know that that fire, that name that you gave to Phoenix they are a oh, you said son. He is a yeah, he's so powerful. Perhaps, I I just don't feel comfortable saying things like this, but I just like maybe this challenging beginning is um, it's a way to clear a lot of karma quickly. It's another way to look at this, but yeah, he's very, very strong. He's very, very strong and very, very connected. So I want to send you love and light and blessings from
Yes.
all of us here in the chat, and to
Yes.
have faith, to have faith. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. Okay. Be strong, all right? We love you.
Hello to Jay Lynn. And thank you to Dee for helping with the chat. And Ange, I didn't say hello when you came in. Welcome.
Hi, Ange.
Thanks for being with us today. And Joel, namaste.
Hello, Joel.
All right. Where are we at?
It's also Scorpio season. One thing with Scorpio is
Thank you, Jonathan.
besides it being a sign of transformation, it's also oh, I just lost my train of thought. I just lost my train of thought. I had my message and then it just fleeted away. Scorpio, now I remember, Scorpio is a sign that is actually, out of all the signs, apparently they have a means, they being Scorpio, has a means of healing quicker than some of the other signs. It's probably because of that Pluto influence of transformation and regeneration. Scorpio has been seen as a sign that can heal. So hopefully during this season, the influence of Scorpio can play a role into Phoenix's rising, healing, transforming, and going into the next state, physical, spiritual, emotional state of where he needs to be. So I just thought that.
Mhm. Okay, so let's shift our energy to Jay Lynn, whose daughter is 6 and having problems making friends at her new school. She had problems at her old school also. This is very challenging as a parent. Very challenging. Should I be concerned and how can I help? So those are two different kinds of questions. Should I be concerned? So your daughter's working through, and with children, letting them, allowing them to be on their journey, to be on their path, and supporting them through their challenges is really all that you can do. But we can pull a couple of cards for you, and I'm just going to be quiet for a moment and see if I can pick anything up as well. And just let us know what your daughter's name is if you're comfortable putting your daughter's name into the chat.
I pulled 2 cards, but I'll let you go because I've been going first too many times.
Okay. I'm just looking to see if daughter's name is Douglas Lynn.
Okay.
I feel my jaw. It's interesting. Okay. Without knowing your family situation, it's difficult to respond, and I want to trust that there's a message in this card that I'm looking at. This is the Two of Swords and the lovely Ohm, and I'm going to tell you what I'm picking up on here. And that is, there's a child, looks like a child to me, in front of a walled garden, a walled experience. And the fact that it's green, and I see what is on the other side of that walled area as fear, and it's almost as if the child whose back is to the walled area, right? The child is afraid to enter. And I want to share something personal with you that so my child in who's how old is she now? She's 15. I don't know how old she is. She's growing up. She's 15, I think. Um, very similar situation. And in grade 3, she announced to me that she didn't want to go to grade 4. There was something must have happened, and I can project a lot of different things, and it has taken from the time she was at that age until quite recently for her to develop the ability to articulate what she feels. And sometimes it's very hard for children to explain, to find words around what they're feeling. And so if this wall, I mean, these are very powerful metaphors, right? There's a wall and there is something unknown on the other side, and it looks scary. It looks like very Wizard of Ozzy to me. And it's safer. It's probably safer on the outside than it is on the inside. And the swords are always about communication. And do you remember I said I was feeling my jaw?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the child, I don't know, just needs help with communication. Needs space to. I mean, I just know how long these things take to heal and to work with. So I also want to say, as a mother, don't be in a rush to fix this. Your child will be fine. It's just going to take some time to nurture in a way that they feel free talking about perhaps what the fear is, or what is on the other side, or what is troubling them, or yeah. Go ahead, Amy. I just need to sit with that
It's
for a minute.
it's fine. I pulled a card, and there was another card right back that was stuck to it. And you say you pulled the Two of Swords?
Mm-hmm.
I have the Two of Air. So I'm going to show you the other card as well. Two of Air, where we're dealing with duality. And then I have emotions. This was the card that was behind the two. And I'm going to.
Sorry, what card is that, Amy?
This one's emotions. this was the card that was behind the Two of Air when I pulled it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I pulled, this is a card I pulled, but the emotions was right behind it. So, sorry, everyone. The emotions here, we're seeing two different realms. Okay. We're seeing the anguish, the discomfort, some potential suffering, pain. But here, sorry with my fingers, but here we see the opposite. We see the angelic side. We're seeing the healing. But I want to focus on here. There is an issue. I feel very strongly with communication. When I was listening to Sadhana's reading, I was getting, someone needs to listen to me. So people aren't listening to what she has to say. There's something that is being held back because no one is paying attention. And you said that she tries to force it. That's a challenge. That's where this card of the emotions, trying to communicate, trying to express herself in such a way, but it's not coming across. It's not coming across the way that she likes it. I almost want to say, Jalen, okay, I'm not a therapist or anything of that nature. I'm not licensed, but I'm feeling to maybe ask your daughter some questions, ask her what's going on. And like Sadhana was saying, you don't force anything like this. They'll talk, they'll express when they want to. But if your daughter's forcing herself to have friends, there's something going on emotionally where it's the communication between the heart and the mind is just not meshing. She's probably being a little bit more on the emotional side with the way that she wants to express herself. And maybe it's being too aggressive. Here with this card, we're trying to find that balance. We're trying to find the balance of her, releasing, addressing any of these issues. And that's what I was saying. Maybe ask her if there's anything that's bothering her, that's hurting her, and see if she does express it. And maybe reinform her that it's okay to say something that is holding her back. She's not going to get into any trouble or anything like that. It's part of the process. But, what's interesting here is, sorry, because of, there's our dark side. Sorry, Sadhana, it's just really hard to do this.
That's okay.
And then we have the light. Okay. We see that release, but we also see it here as well. Okay. Okay, this is where she's feeling inside. Okay. She's struggling with the expression, but I feel once things are communicated and emotionally she releases herself, she'll feel this. She'll feel this lightness. She'll start feeling a little bit more of things making a little bit more sense. But there is an issue where she's not being listened to.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get, not we, but this needs to be addressed as to what the issue is. What's the hurt? What is she scared of?
There is. Okay, so I just step by step just need to kind of go through this. So she's forcing herself on other people, right? And so that is an overwhelming behavior for others, right? And so when one forces oneself on another, the reaction is to run away, right? It's not to come towards it.
Yeah.
So why do people do that, right? It's like she doesn't want to come towards herself. So there is something inside that is hurting, definitely. There may be a discomfort with self, right? So instead of being able to, right, because she's going away instead of within. And I don't know
Mhm.
how old she is, right? This is lifelong work. So all you can do as a parent is to, I'm going to say, listen. You said, and there was a comment, I do ask every day. So maybe don't ask every day because that can also get pushy, right?
Yeah.
You want to just make sure that she knows when you are ready,
Mhm.
I'm here to listen. When you're ready, I'm here. And you can also offer different ways to share that. Sharing it through a drawing, sharing it through play, sharing it through, yeah. We we hold space for you.
Yeah. I'm feeling there needs to be, you just said the last word, space in the heart and space in the mind. Give her that freedom. But to check in, check in with her every now and then. And then there may be that moments like something comes out, something happens at school. There's a trigger moment, and then you'll start seeing some signs as to where to go with that. So
Let and the most, one of the most important things is to let her know that she's not she's not broken, there's nothing to
mhm.
fix.
Yeah.
She's she's light, she's love. She's just having a hard time right now, right?
Mhm.
And this will pass. This will
Mhm.
pass. She will figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat today. It's been a privilege to read for you, and I know we haven't gotten to all of your questions. I also want to thank everybody in the chat who is so supportive and offering kind and caring comments for everybody that we've read for, and some of those that we haven't. Um, and I know that I also haven't greeted everybody that came in. There was a few others that Susanna, hello to you, and there was Pallavi as well too. So I just want to send and share my gratitude for all of you in every way that you participate in these readings and
Yeah.
other times that I'm on my channel as well too. So yeah, Aimee, it's been great to hang out with you this
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you. Appreciate the support, Sadhana. We learn from each other, and that's what's really that really motivates me to be on this channel, to meet people like yourself who are open and exchange, thoughts and feelings openly, with discretion.
Yeah,
But I appreciate you holding this space. So thank you so much, Sadhana, and everyone, of course, that we know in the community and people who are watching for the first time. So I thank you as well.
yeah. So Aimee, you just hang on there for a moment,
Yeah.
and the rest of you, I'll be back on. I didn't even know what day it is today. I'll be back on Tuesday. Tuesday,
Mhm.
I'm on a lot, so I'll see some of you then. Take good care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Namaste.
Thank you.